Hello, this is a second update on my high-def NES adapter for your NES system, and in the last week I've implemented all the video features that it's going to have. I have scaling now, so you have selectable scaling, scanline generators. There's two types of scanline generators. I'll go over that in a minute. There's also interpolation if you want to blur it slightly, and then there's horizontal width adjustment, and also I have stops now, so if you want a proper 4:3 aspect ratio picture, now you can have that, and it's all selectable through the menu now. So there's the menu. I'll go through that in a little bit, and I will have some actual proper captured video off of this. I'm running at 720p right now because that's what my capture device can capture, so we'll get into that, but that's what I've got done. I've also been working on audio, but that'll be a separate update, so we'll get on with it here, and I'll hook this in and we'll see what I got. So the next step up is the menu, and in the menu you can select all the video options right now. So to get there, you press the hotkey, which is very configurable, the controller 1, 2, and whatever combination you like. So there's the menu, and then I can select video options. That's the thing I've worked on. And in there we got horizontal stretching, scaling, scanlines, and interpolation. And interpolation is blurring. So we'll get to all of these. First is horizontal stretching. So by pressing left and right on the controller, you can control the width of the screen. And I make the little menu thing hide itself so you can actually watch what's happening. That's why it looks like this. So right now I'm at exactly a 4x scale on the horizontal, so every NES pixel is occupying 4 HDMI pixels. So if you hold the button down, it will scroll, and then it has these various stops. So here's like a 4:3 aspect ratio if you have a 16:10 monitor, and you can keep doing that. And it'll stop again for 4:3 for a 16:9 aspect ratio monitor. And if you keep going, it'll do 3x. And then if you really want it all squashed up, it'll go all the way down to 2x. So it looks pretty ridiculous right now, but I just thought I'd leave the option in there. So I usually like to run it at 4x. That seems to be pretty decent. In the video, yes, the picture is shifted to the right somewhat. This is because of the stuff I've done in the software, but I will fix that. It's just, this is just a very preliminary. So I'll leave it on 4x because I like that. So then I can get out of that. And next one is scaling. So right now there's no scaling at all. It's basically raw NES pixels right now. So there's like a HQ2X, which is that. There's a 3x, 4x, which I've gone over before. Scale 2x. Scale 3x, and of course the X-ray mode. And what X-ray mode is, this is a debug mode that I left in because I thought it looked really cool. If I play the game a little bit, you can kind of see how that works. It's just basically detecting the edges of objects, so it's kind of surprising to me how playable this actually is. I have a little problems right now. My little capture card seems to be kind of lagging a bit, but when I play this on the actual monitor, it is very responsive. There is absolutely no delay between the playing the game and seeing the result on the monitor. So I'll leave it right there. We'll get back in the menu and turn the X-ray off. I'll turn it back on none. And then the next one is Scanlines. Everybody wants Scanlines, so we have Scanlines. And the way this works is like the other one. The background goes away when you're adjusting it, so you can see what you're doing, and you can adjust how deep you like the scanline effect. So this is all the way. I mean, if you want some more in the middle, you can do that too, like that. So this kind of gives you that little CRT feel. And these other options here will make a scanline effect for this number of HDMI lines. So you would probably never use this in the 720 or the 480p modes, but for the 1080p you almost have to use this, because if you use the NES mode, the scanlines look kind of funny because there is not an exact number of NES scanlines that will fit vertically on a 1080p screen. You have to have 4.5 NES scan lines for every HDMI. Oh, sorry, you have to have 4.5 HDMI scan lines for every NES scan line, and this just looks terrible. So that's what this is for. I usually use like the 3x mode for that, but I mean you can select whatever you want. If you really want the NES locked mode in 1080p, you can use it. So, and then the depth control, you can just adjust how deep you really want that effect. And then finally is interpolation. This is a blurring effect, and basically right now it's off, so you hit the button, you can turn it on, turn it off. Yeah, it shifts the screen a little. I'll probably fix that so it won't do that, but so this is with basically it's turned off right now, but if you watch the edges of things as I move this up, they'll get blurrier and blurrier, so that kind of simulates more of a CRT feel. So using this in the Scanlines gives you a fairly reasonable CRT emulation. So if you really want the depth of those Scanlines cranked way up, you can crank them way up. If you hold it down, it speeds up. So that's how the Scanlines work. So this is what I've got right now, and I've added a bunch of stuff to the audio side of things, but I'll do another video on that later because that may be a little more involved. There's quite a bit of things I'll have to do on that. So, but yeah, watch for that video, and thanks for watching.